Broadsword hosted another live stream where they previewed what's coming up in Update 7.7. This was quite a long stream. It was over an hour, so we're not going to cover everything that they talked about, just the stuff that's interesting to us here at the channel, which is story stuff and story adjacent stuff, I guess. But first, let's get the basics out of the way. Update 7.7 should be coming pretty soon, end of May or early June. They said they thought the PTS cycle for this update would be pretty quick, and by the time this video goes live, the PTS should be up and running. But what about the story updates? Well, sorry to say that 7.7 will also be launching without its story content. They said that they're still missing key pieces of both stories, and they don't have any information on when they might be able to get those pieces done. But they said as soon as they know, they'll let us know. As for what we can expect in the story itself, we don't know much more than we did after the Star Wars Celebration trailer. And of course, it's difficult to share details about the 7.7 story because we haven't played the 7.6 story. It's been a while, so they did give us a recap of what we were supposed to do in Galactic Threads. That's the name of the 7.6 story. And there's going to be some spoilers here if you haven't played the story from 7.5, Desperate Defiance. But anyway, at the end of that story, Shae Vizsla helps Malgus escape from his prison, so we'll be trying to track them down, as well as investigating Null's holocron, which we also found at the end of that story. We'll also be investigating the threat that the hidden chain poses, as well as trying to figure out just what exactly are Malagus's plans for the galaxy now that he's at liberty to pursue them. Then immediately following up on Galactic Threads comes Master's Enigma, and they gave us a teeny tiny snippet of what we can expect, something a little extra from the trailer.
A Rakatan mine trap. Whoever is inside this prison will wish to escape, and they will try to claim your body to do it. Your connection to the Force will only do so much. I will do what I can to protect you.
So as you can see here, Malgus approaches the Rakatan mine trap, theoretically to talk to whoever happens to be inside. Then the PC is going to have to follow suit and enter the mine trap in order to figure out what Malgus was doing there. Unfortunately, we are accompanied by Lana, who has to explain to us what a Rakatan mine trap is, which annoys me in advance because my PCs know far more about these things than Lana ever will. This is especially true if you happen to be playing a consular, who way back on Coruscant, i.e. very early in their story, got trapped in a Rakatan box and managed to escape, all by their lonesome without any help from Lana. I know that's really wild to think about, but it did happen. I mean, come on guys, let my character explain stuff. If it makes sense and they know about it already, let them explain what's going on. Why does Lana always have to explain stuff to us like we're morons? And I know somebody is going to mention down there that if Lana says it, they only have to record the dialogue 3 times for English, French, and German, whereas if the PC says it, they have a whole bunch of people they have to record it with. I understand that, but it doesn't stop me wishing it could happen. But my Lana hate aside, I am looking forward to where this story is going, especially because they mentioned that things are starting to come to a head, and that 7.7 is going to mark a turning point in the story, where we're finally going to see these plot threads come together. We're finally going to be looking deeper into this holocron, try to figure out what Malgus wants with it, and we're going to discover a mysterious figure who's been pulling the strings behind the scenes, and I think we probably know, spoiler alert, that's going to be Jadis. And that's all we really know about the story at this point. But I am excited to hear that we're finally going to start seeing these various plot threads, the Malgus thread, the Mandalorian Civil War thread, finally coming together. Now moving on from the story itself to something equally important to story people, and that's the updated character textures, or the character modernization initiatives that they started back in 7.6, and character customization. As you probably know, their efforts to update and modernize the character textures has had a rocky start. They aged our characters by about 30 years, they suddenly had neck seams, chiss were blotchy, and Broadsword have been rolling out updates to improve character textures ever since, and they're continuing to do so in 7.7. And I've got to say that the chiss here is looking actually pretty good. And they're also continuing to do some texture smoothing on human characters. As for other alien species, they say they do plan to update their textures as well, but not until the current updated textures are acceptable to them and to us. But along with updated character textures, our colorful aliens will be getting some new customization options. That's right, we're getting a whole boatload of new color options. And I do mean a boatload. We're going to have 95 colors to choose from when making a Twi'lek. Sure, a lot of those colors are probably going to amount to small variations in a shade, but still, that's a lot. And now everyone can make those purple Twi'leks we've been wanting to make for all these years. And finally, I'll just briefly talk about the new dynamic encounters. They introduced these little mini missions back in 7.6 on Tatooine and Hoth. With 7.7, they will also be coming to the starter planets, that's Tython, Korriban, Ord Mantell, and Hutta, the capital worlds, that's Dromund Kaas and Coruscant, and Ilum. Like with the previous set of dynamic encounters on Hoth and Tatooine, there will be both combat and non-combat encounters. And just like the earlier sets of encounters, if you complete a certain number of them on each planet, you will get a new mount. And they're mini-pet compatible. There are other rewards too, like this disgusting thing. So while these new dynamic encounters aren't a substitute for story content, it is something we can do while we wait. Anyway, I think that's where I'm gonna leave it. And like I mentioned at the top of this video, the PTS should be live right now, so you can test out all of the stuff except the story. And of course, all the other stuff that's coming with 7.7 that we didn't talk about will also be there, so you can hop on and check out the quality of life changes, the new combat changes, the new master mode for the XR-53 replicator operation, as well as the new PvP Season 8 stuff. But what do you think? Are you happy to see Lana and Jadith? Will you be rocking a new fluorescent Togruta? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you like this content, why not like and subscribe? As always, thanks for watching.